Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fish Tank on this brand new episode of Fish Tank.
DealKemist essentially provides agents with the ability to capture leads, manage listings effectively, and for the operational leverage of the whole business.
Right?
Yeah, that's saying it's the same
Yeah.
concept. You list houses there.
I provide real estate agents with strategic solutions.
Okay, we can call it that.
You can call it strategic solutions or whatever you want.
For me, I'm trying to provide the agent with this kind of solution whereby any listing that he creates, he can really find a way to market it better.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you special because right now I can go to Pam Golding's website.
Why wouldn't I go to Palm Goldings, where I'm assured have had such a high success rate of me being able to sell my property really quickly?
Customers really read through these things, because imagine if you are buying a house, you want the listings to be described in a way that you feel, okay, this is worth checking out.
And that's disruptive.
Relax.
Okay.
One of the things I'm really trying to work towards is managing these listings on the blockchain. Because
Blockchain?
Yeah. The network by paying some
Yeah. Are we still talking about houses?
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Let him finish.
The tokenizing essentially is turning it into an NFT, yeah?
Hey,
No, relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Did you come up with this idea when you were sober? Because
Oh, Chris.
I could make an NFT out of my cat. I could make an NFT out of my dog.
Why would the value of this phone, as it is in its physical, transfer onto the blockchain just because it's tokenized?
it's disruptive.
Allow the man to speak.
Sorry. Okay, what else? What other technologies do you have?
There's the
Web3?
There's the Web3, there's AI.
Now we are throwing everything.
How are you going to compete with the GGs and the buy property 254? I can't remember.
Buy rent.
Buy rent
something,
Kenya,
buy rent
property
Kenya, all of
24.
those, because those are the ones I know where they have agents on the ground. And what other regulations apply to real estate then?
There's the
So you have to figure out how it works very fast. So you can put some money in your pocket.
Hello, my name is Paul Chang, and I'm the founder and chief alchemist of DealKemist. So, this DealKemist is a platform that provides real estate agents with strategic solutions that they will use at a tactical level with piercing effectiveness for their economic success and sustainability. Let me say it twice. DealKemist is a software as a service solution that provides real estate agents with strategic solutions that they will implement at a tactical level with piercing effectiveness for their economic success and sustainability. The last time. DealKemist is a software as a service solution that provides real estate agents with strategic solutions that they will implement at a tactical level with piercing effectiveness for their economic success and sustainability.
Wow! Beautiful!
Do you guys get it? We each got one.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called
Okay.
DealKemist.
Yeah.
Feels like a
That's an interesting
pharmacy.
name. Yeah, for a real
real
estate company. Yeah, talk about the name a little bit.
Okay, so I think a few months ago I was watching a certain movie, and there's a guy on the movie. The movie is called Ford versus Ferrari. So he kept on mentioning a word called portmanteau. So I kept on wondering, what does this word mean? So I Googled the word, and surprisingly the word means mixing of two meanings to form a word. An example is brunch, breakfast and lunch. Lunch. So with that thinking, I thought, well, a real estate agent is essentially someone who is good at selling houses or property. So how essentially you're good at making deals, you're good at the art of making a deal. But an alchemist is someone who makes something better, someone like Jesus. So I came
Saint
up.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus is an alchemist.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I just want to confirm.
So,
Yeah.
He made
so I
drugs.
came up with my own portmanteau, DealKemist, because I thought the guy was quite cool.
Okay.
Well,
Alright.
that's cool. You have to think about what it means to your customer, or from a brand perspective.
Yeah.
Would it ring? Sometimes you create a name and eventually people associate it with whatever you want. But at the start, it might work against you.
Yeah.
Just
For
a
example,
thought.
we all thought it was
You're getting
pharmacy related or something. But okay, let's move past that. What do you do for real estate agents? Because you used a lot of words, but didn't say
And
what
said
it
it
was.
3 times.
Yes. Like, what do you do for the real estate agents?
Okay. Agents have an issue with productivity. Number one. And through talking with these agents, a lot of issues have come up, and I've been able to get them into urgent issues, underserved issues, unconventional issues. So among the urgent issues, number one is high marketing costs. High marketing costs, poor regulations. There are all manner of laws that are passed in between. And among the underserved issues are the sales experience. Essentially, when you're buying a house, I'm pretty sure almost all the customers, they really don't know what goes into the whole process. They have to be educated by the agent himself. So the agent really has a lot of things to do. So one of the things that I will really ask agents when I really talk to them at first was, how do you really manage your clients? And they say, we have WhatsApp groups. There's some who even have websites. Yeah, they do that for themselves. But I will tell them, okay, I can see you have clients, you have a good number of clients, but did you know that it takes, in the US, it takes 1,000 clients in your client database to net $1 million a year? They asked me $1 million. Okay, let's go back to the 1,000 clients. So I told them, you need to really manage these clients. Then they say, so you say I need a client management system. I was like, I don't know what you need, but this is just one part of it. So after looking at multiple issues, I came to realize that agents work hard. They work really hard. They make money, but this is an arena which you need to be more strategic. It's like when you go back to our earlier years in school, when you went into an exam, you will not read everything. You will not read the book 2 or 3 times before the exam, but some part of you will decide to perform some level of supervised learning by looking at the past papers. That's being strategic. That means you're thinking harder instead of working harder. So I told the agents, what if we thought harder before we work harder? What if we were more strategic, so that if we apply these strategic solutions at a tactical level, they will be more effective, and it will be for your economic success and the sustainability of this business. So that's how I came about it.
Yeah, you still not told me what the software does.
Okay.
I just got out of that. I got managing clients. Is that what it does?
Let me still not told you what the software does.
Yeah, like you said, it's a software as a service. What am I buying?
It's a software as a service that provides you strategic solutions.
Yeah, what is the solution?
Okay, the solutions come across different categories. Number one, okay, the real estate industry for agents, it's divided into 3 things: leads, listings, and leverage. Agents need to focus on lead generation, listing creation and management, and they need to be operationally, they need to capture the operational leverage, in the sense that they need to manage their people, and they need to be able to have listings across different places. An example if you're an agent in Nairobi, your ability to have a listing in Kampala, it needs to happen. Because if you need to make $5 million a year, you cannot just have listings in Nairobi.
Sure.
You see? So, DealKemist essentially provides agents with the ability to capture leads, manage listings effectively, and for the operational leverage of the whole business.
Okay. So let's go down that list, yeah. And I'm writing notes. I should have actually got a notebook rather than my phone. So the leads part,
Yes.
take us through that.
Okay, the leads. Most of us know of the 80-20 principle, whereby 20% of your efforts bring the 80% of the results. So an agent essentially needs to focus on lead generation. They constantly need to be generating quality leads. And
In this case, leads are people who want to buy houses.
Yeah.
people who want to buy houses, or people who are kind of interested in buying and selling. People,
Anyone who wants to buy or anyone who wants to sell a house.
yeah.
Okay.
So, what clients or what most agents currently use are the methods of lead generation is fragmented. They use Instagram, WhatsApp, So, I asked an agent, "What's the most expensive listing you have?" And I think he told me around 15 million. And I asked him, if you have a listing of 400 million and you put it on Instagram, you will achieve the visibility that you want, but Instagram is really not suited for generating specifically real estate leads.
Yep.
Because let's say I've tried these experiments on my LinkedIn. Let's say a post on real estate, you will get a conversion rate of maybe 0.0 something percent for someone who is interested in real estate only. So essentially advertising is too broad. That solution that they use to generate leads is too broad. So in DealKemist, our ability to just concentrate it on real estate only, and anyone who comes through the site is a quality lead, someone who is able to look at what we have, and if he interacts with it, he will buy. But essentially, we just put your mind on real estate. It's just a real estate thing.
So do you list houses on your website?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so it's like Property 24 and other similar websites.
But
where
this does rental, commercial, they do everything, right?
yeah, it's just saying it's the same
Yeah.
concept. You list houses there.
I provide real estate agents with strategic solutions.
Okay, we can call it that.
You can call it strategic solutions or whatever you want. But you've just talked about fragmentation, right? And you've now just created another place that they need to list at. And then you also mentioned about how your leads are good leads, right?
What's the conversion
rate? First, before that, how do you ensure that your leads are good?
Good.
And then what's your conversion rate, given that you just compared to LinkedIn at 1% or 0 point something percent? What's your conversion rate right now?
Okay, I've not yet implemented that. That
Okay.
It's still an assumption. It's still an hypothesis.
All right.
So the hypothesis is the leads generated should be able to interact, and then if they're able to just pick their interest on one, they can have an agent assist them. And then if they're interested, they can view, but it's still a hypothesis.
Okay, so why do you have this hypothesis? Why you?
Why me? It's because creating of these listings, it's not just creating listings. Because creating a listing, number one, if you ask a normal person, how do you appreciate real estate? They will just say, if you just buy it and hold it for a shorter, for like a year, 2, 3, 4 years, it will appreciate. But if you create a listing in such a way that you're able to communicate that, if you buy this listing, there are certain features that are not here. Things like cover crops, things like gabions, you reduce the soil erosion rate. Certain small things that if you do and if you buy it at this lower price, if you do these things are also sustainable, so they will increase the value of the listings. If you go to Instagram or if you go to Facebook and you find that and you create a listing there, Facebook is just optimized for its social media. It's optimized for people to just look at your listings. It's not optimized for real estate only. But for me, I'm trying to provide the agent with this kind of solution whereby any listing that he creates, he can really find a way to market it better.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you special, because right now I can go to Pam Golding's website, and the reason why I think Pam Golding is that
we know the name.
I know the name because I see their billboards in very prestigious
Has
neighborhoods,
Consult,
right?
Yeah.
There's Has Consult. With me, it's Pam Golding that really comes into mind, right? you're adding a level of complexity here or another place to sell, and I'm not seeing the special sauce that you're bringing.
Yeah, what's your
Right?
unique
So
proposition?
because for me,
it's
like
a
at
house.
this point,
It's a house listing website.
yes, it's a house listing website, but he seems to think it's going to be special, which I don't think it's going to be. Right?
So I think maybe he
So-
keeps talking about strategic. He
Yeah,
provides
so
strategic
that's why I'm
solutions. What
like-
are the strategic?
So
Can you point?
Let's move to the next thing, which
Yeah.
was listing, right? Right. So with the leads, I don't like. Okay, that's an assumption. Talk to us about listing then.
Okay, in terms of listing creation, what I was really focusing on was sustainability, whereby people you're able to shine light on making these listings sustainable. Things at the time I was building the listings part, I think it was during the rains. So my idea was, if you can improve the quality of real estate in the country, things like planting cover crops, constructing gabions to reduce soil erosion, improving the solar coverage, things like that. So that is what my listing creation technology essentially just focuses on. It focuses on the ability of the agent to create a listing and improve the listing, manage the listing effectively through improving it as maybe he owns the listing. He can improve it, and he essentially will just have a catalog of the improvements that he has made over a period of time. So
So will you be selling the gabions?
I'm selling the software to the agent.
But then,
the
what
agent
does-
has to do the work himself.
No, but what does your software or website have to do with the Gabions?
Gabions.
Yeah. And the
Okay.
cover crops.
The gabions is a solution that the agent gets from there. It's something that the agent listing management it's something on its own. It's a whole thing for an agent. Just having a
Yes.
list. If an agent
Educate us about it.
If an agent has the most expensive listing in Nairobi, that's a force of nature. That's a special person.
I'm so special.
Just having the listing itself.
Yeah, because of the commissions, I guess
Yeah.
the commissions that they're going to get from selling the property.
Yeah. And also other buyers, they're always attracted to someone who is able to get such listings. Just having that listing.
But okay, if I had like the most expensive property that I need to sell,
But
why wouldn't I go to Palm Goldings, where I'm
Yeah,
assured
well,
has such a high success rate of me being able to sell my property really quickly?
but also add that, what does his solution have to do with that?
Because that's what he's trying to do. He's providing strategic solutions for.
So that if this agent has the most expensive property,
Yeah.
it's only listed on his website.
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
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 And the agents would agree with that?
Yeah. Okay.
Because it
No,
would sell faster.
No, that's an assumption.
Okay.
That's an assumption.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's an assumption we are making. The way I plan to convince agents to really move into creating their listings with us is just using disruptive technology and improving the pain points they have while creating this listings.
So, what disruptive technology are you talking about here?
Okay, so things like, in terms of creating the listing, there are things like the descriptions, the sustainable features it has, the normal features it has. So in terms of creating these descriptions, most agents, they think that this is just something that you just do on a flat level. But customers really read through these things, because imagine if you are buying a house, you want the listings to be described in a way that you feel, okay, this is worth checking out.
And that's disruptive.
Relax.
Okay.
So what's disruptive about it is the fact that when the agent creates the listings and he describes it, I'm using certain algorithms to really try and ensure your listings are well edited, and so that when they appear on the website for the user, the user will see it the way the user is supposed to see it. He will look at the benefits first, the sustainable. There's just a certain way it's supposed to be created that is on the site.
Okay. I have a question. I am buying a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a few things that are important to me.
Yeah.
Location,
Yeah.
the price, the number of bedrooms it has, and perhaps a garden.
Yeah.
The first thing I look at is pictures.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I was about
Like
to ask.
I'll
What's the
look at.
first
Let me
thing-
just first look at the pictures.
What's the first thing someone looks at when they want to buy a house? It's not.
And
the
that's why there's a
description.
lot of, like, in photography, people spend a lot of money making sure like they're taking really good
Yeah.
pictures of houses that they're selling.
You know what I was expecting as disruptive. You could say like we do a 3D model
Yeah.
of the house and give you walkthrough. I know in advanced countries,
Which would
and-
be cool because you don't have to do site visits to go look at a
so
house you're gonna buy.
You can have a site visit from the website. Now that feels like, okay, this is how. And I saw another where they can tell you, like you can plan the sitting, can tell you like if a couch goes here
yeah.
and goes there. So especially for those very expensive properties, someone wants to understand if I have a 80-inch TV, will it fit here? How will it fit? So they can do that.
Yeah, and
But-
then when the technologies that you are describing, is there a reason why you feel that they need to be on your website? Because I'm thinking, if perhaps the description is a pain point, as you say it, which to be honest I doubt, but let's say it is, why would we need to use your website? Why can't we just plug in your software into whatever systems that we have so that we can generate these descriptions better there?
Okay, so my main aim with the listings creation and in terms of disruption is one of the things I'm really trying to work towards is managing these listings on the blockchain. Because
Blockchain?
Yeah. Because a listing, an example is a house. This house, once it's appraised, it might, I don't know how much it might come to, but let's assume
It's expensive.
20 million. Let's assume 20 million. A listing of 20 million is a value. It's something valuable on the blockchain. If you tokenize that, 20 million, I think you are past the 13th. Since most blockchains have moved from proof of work to proof of stake protocol, whereby the members of the network are the ones who validate. They're the ones who validate the network by paying some.
Yeah. Are we still talking about houses?
Yeah.
No, let him finish. Let him finish.
The members of the network are the ones who pay for the network to be strong. So if you have a listing of, and they are reimbursed for that.
Yeah, sure.
I think if you put the 13th, you're given somewhere around 10-15% annually. So if you have a listing of 20 million and you've already bought the house, why can't the agent suggest tokenize this? Let's place it on
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
the chain.
Why would they?
Because it's something disruptive. It's something that they haven't
With my
done.
20 million.
People don't do things because they are disruptive. They do it to make money. So
Maybe they're destructive.
no, because the thing is, we've tokenized it, but then what?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the value?
If I've sold this house, for example, I'm selling it because I want to either go buy something bigger or maybe I'm downsizing. I don't know. I don't think I would want to be disruptive with that money,
Okay.
And an agent convincing me to put on blockchain, I'd be very suspicious.
Okay. So from my understanding is you don't really see the reason why you should tokenize.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Tokenizing essentially is turning it into an NFT, yeah?
Hey,
No, relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Turning it into...
That's turned into my physical house has turned
No,
into
your physical house has not turned into an NFT.
I think we're
but
in another
you've tokenized the house, sure.
Let's assume you've bought the house.
Yeah.
And you're living in the house.
Sure.
Once it is
So I've already sold it. So I've sold my house to Sydney.
Yeah, let's assume it's not me. You convincing me to tokenize it.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
Sell me on why. Like I'm not by the way, to be clear, I'm not skeptical on blockchain. I'm just skeptical on this particular use case.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've sold the house to Sydney.
Yeah.
Sydney has bought the house and he plans to live in the house for 5 years.
Okay.
So, and by the way, placing it on the blockchain, you place it on your own.
Sure.
But since you're on the platform and you've said, since you have the NFT, since it has some value, if you stake it, relax. If you stake it, if you stake it, it earns the interest every year. So the interest that you get every year, it goes back to your blockchain account. There is no intermediary. It goes back to you.
Yeah, I understand. There's something you said there that I'm skeptical about. And if you can explain it, maybe you have something. Why does it have value if it's on the blockchain?
It has value because since you don't plan to sell the house, you don't plan to do anything, you plan to live in the house. If you can prove that you own it, this NFT, this digital thing is directly attached to that house, it has value.
No. This phone is directly attached to my hand. Why does it have value? Think about that for a moment.
Did you come up with this idea when you were sober? Because
Chris.
I could make an NFT out of my cat. I could make an NFT out of my dog. Out of thousands of things.
Like
the only thing that is valuable for me that I don't even want people to know how my house looks like. You're telling me I make an NFT out of a private thing. Like
for me, it's not even that. It's like I own this phone, right? This is my phone, right? I make an NFT of it. Why is it valuable to Chris, other than the fact that I can call him on it? Why is the NFT of this phone valuable for Chris? Because if you can do it for this phone, then you can do it for a whole house. Because it's my phone, right? It has a value. Cheap value, to be clear, but it has a value, right? We tokenize it. Yeah? Why would the value of this phone as it is in its physical transfer onto the blockchain just because it's tokenized?
It's disruptive.
Allow the man to speak.
Sorry.
Okay, from my understanding is you're really skeptical about why it is being tokenized.
No,
just the value.
No. I'm not skeptical at all. I'm skeptical that you can explain it. Yeah, because you seem not to understand what blockchain does for something, right? And that's why I'm saying, like, if you can explain it for this phone, then we can be like, okay, scale it up to a house.
Okay.
Why is the token of my phone that is mine valuable to anybody else in this room, including you?
Okay, I think the token of your phone will not be that valuable because I can easily reproduce your phone. But reproducing this house is something that is really... For me to reproduce this house, I have to build another one.
Sure. And
But for me to reproduce your phone, I have to buy another one. So
there's some value in you buying the phone. Like that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
The value of the token of this house is valuable to me because, let's say, I own it.
Yeah.
Right? Why is it valuable to any of them?
Or
anybody else on the network of, like, let's say you choose to put it on it's ETH.
Ethereum.
Ethereum, yes. Like, why would it be valuable to anybody else?
So from what I get is you're really interested in why is it valuable to anybody else?
Yeah, because you've just said that part of the things that you'll be doing, and let me just get this right. If it's still is it the listing or the no, this is why I should notebook these things. It was part of the listing. It's sustainable. Then you said you want to put it on the blockchain, right? So that it gets value. Things that are valuable on the blockchain are because other people are willing to pay for it, right? Anything that has value
while you're
because other
explaining
people
that,
are willing to pay for it.
You are providing solution to real estate agents for strategic something.
Strategic solutions, disruptive.
So how is the blockchain and the NFT a strategic use advantage to a real estate agent?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the most valuable piece of real estate that you know?
That I know of or that I own?
That you know.
That I know?
Yeah.
Depends on how you want to look at
State
it. But
House.
let's say the White House in
White House.
America. Yes.
If the White House announced that this token is the one that was tokenized for the White House, how valuable is this token?
But you see,
No.
before you even explain that,
why is it valuable? Because other people are willing to say that it's valuable to them.
it's the president.
The president is now endorsing blockchain. I'm sure that would be a huge deal. But you see, the thing is, even people who were a huge deal and announced their own NFTs, right now, those NFTs ain't worth shit, right?
Even apart from
Snoop
that,
Dogg, Eminem.
Oh, yeah.
Like
if Trump walked here and
Trump has his own
used a
tokens.
tissue paper to wipe his wig and put it there, that tissue paper will just have value because it went through Trump's head, right? So whatever benefit of that NFT is coming from the popularity of that person. But for an ordinary person like me, who will even care
Yeah, like
about anything?
I would, if personally, I would not be talking about blockchain here. I don't think you understand it as well enough to be implementing it in this solution. Yeah.
Why did you decide on blockchain?
Yeah.
Blockchain is just a subset of the technologies that go into it.
Okay, what else? What other technologies do you have?
There's the
Web3?
There's the Web3, there's AI.
Now we are throwing everything.
Big data, machine learning, blockchain, artificial intelligence, digital manufacturing, big data analysis, quantum communication, and Internet of Things.
No. The AI part was
AI
the part where it
maybe.
comes up
What-
with the descriptions and all of that. That
I
one I
thought
can
Web3 was
understand.
already dead.
Web3 is still blockchain adjacent.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Okay, let him talk.
Yeah.
Web3.
Everything is a hypothesis that I have to test with real customers. So
okay, that's fine.
so I think what I'm really getting from you guys is that I've not really done a good job at explaining how the blockchain comes about.
Yes,
That is what I'm really getting.
yes.
and
I
I don't know whether you need to even.
have it.
Consider having.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
I mean, because I think where you make money is where you pair a technology with a problem
Yeah.
that your customer is facing. And here your customer is the agent. So an agent has a problem creating an NFT, so you create it for them.
Yeah.
An agent has clients who have asked, they like their houses to be tokenized. And then like, oh, okay, now I can make it smoother. But you're creating a solution for a problem no one has asked you, or you figured out whether that problem exists.
Did you do any like customer discovery, user research when you were?
Yeah, I did user research, and I categorize this problem as something that is latent and aspirational, something that the customer does not know they want it yet, and I just have to test it first.
Okay.
It's something that is an assumption.
All right. Then so we've gone through, managing the leads, listing, and the last thing you said was leverage.
Yes, leverage.
Start with explaining what you mean by leverage and how your software helps with that.
Yes. Okay, so leverage essentially is your ability to use your current skills to achieve much, much more than you'll achieve if you do it in a crude way. So I always say leverage comes in three forms: people, content, and code. Code in the sense that once you write software once, it can be used millions of times. People in the sense that if you're the CEO, you can employ multiple people to perform different functions so that the company succeeds. And then content in the sense that it can be consumed many times and you can achieve the same desired effect. So an agent needs to list the property. He needs to show the property to clients. He needs to market the properties on social media and other platforms. And an agent also needs to teach the people who work under him because it's a whole team. So
Okay.
for leverage, I've created this is an hypothesis that the agents needs to market through email.
Okay.
Through email, whereby once you've onboarded your client and you have that relationship, you need to be sending him something once maybe in 2 weeks, once in a month, so that you keep that ongoing communication, so that when the client wants to buy, you're the first person they go to. And as an agent, you cannot do that and also show the properties. So the software gives you something for that. And then in terms of teaching, everybody needs to learn. An example is the person who is marketing the properties. They need to continuously refine their skills so that whenever they keep sending these things, they keep sending the client something that they will feel they are educated. This guy is valuable to our lives. And that is marketing and education. Yeah, in terms of leverage. And also the performance, the productivity of your whole team, that is very important. It is important for you to track what everybody does. An example, the marketing person, you need to look at what he looks at. For example, the open rate of the emails, the number of emails he sends. And for the whole organization, you need to ensure that the whole organization learns, because there's a lot of skills that you need as an organization, from emotional intelligence, because you're handling real clients. In terms of creating those listings, you need to refine your language each time you write this listing, because this is copywriting. It's just copywriting.
Sure.
Yeah, writing those descriptions, it's just copywriting. And so you need to improve your skills as the marketing person. Sending those emails, it's just copywriting.
Let me ask you, what do you think is the reason people buy from a particular agent? If, say, I wanted to buy a piece of property, why would I go with a specific agent?
Okay. From my understanding, why would I go with a particular agent? I think it comes in terms of brand, because from my research, I found out that what the agents were telling me is that once you onboard a client, the client essentially is always like yours for life, but you have to maintain the
I don't know
relationship.
whether that's true, because once I'm either buying, unless it's part of my business, but if I'm like a homeowner who's just buying a home for a family, I'll do it once or twice.
Yeah.
Buy a property.
Yeah,
but if I am in the business of buying and selling,
I was actually thinking about that.
Yeah.
Once my transaction is done with you,
I don't
why
get
do
that.
I need to receive any emails from you? The chance that I'll buy a second house, assuming most people get their houses through mortgage, I have to finish this mortgage
Yeah.
in 15 to 20 years. So if you put me in your email list and I receive other properties, I'll just send it to spam.
Yeah. And then final thing, just worth thinking about. You have a very clear definition of what you're trying to achieve. You have your leads, listing, and leverage. But when you're talking about your leads and versus what you're talking about your leverage, those are two different software, like two different problems, right?
Yeah.
Because once you're telling them is like they need to manage the marketing, but when you started, you're like, all the marketing will be on my website. Yeah. And they will get their excellent
Strategic solution.
their strategic solutions from there. Right? So you might as well like, this sounds like something that maybe is possible, right? If I'm able to go to one place and see all the places that I advertise in, and I'm able to look at open rates, click-through rates, where if we've done experiments on the copywriting that you're talking about, all of that,
And that software
that could be
exists.
valuable. But the real question is, have you seen the agents using anything like that? Like, do they check their open rates? Do they even care?
Okay.
Yes, I think they can. I think there
Have you-
is software.
I know some people here who have bought property. So
Yeah, not
And
me.
every time someone spams you, I'm like, I've already bought a property. Why are you spamming me again? Is
Yeah.
one question I always ask. I've already bought it. Until maybe if I'm thinking of buying again.
I will
be-
tell you what's valuable. And I saw a friend who did this thing, and it was very basic but very useful. When someone lands on your website or lands on a specific property on your website, it pops up and asks them, would you like to provide your contact details, like name, phone number, and email for further whatever communication? Then that information goes to an agent who put it in listing, that for this specific property, these are the people who are interested. Now, then the agent can send an email or a WhatsApp like, hey, we received your interest in this particular house, and then he could send further things. Now, that is good because you're providing agent with something they don't have.
Yeah.
People come to the general website, and people who went to specific. First, they know the demand that is on that property. Second, they have the contact details of the people who are most likely interested in that property. With that very simple feature, you've provided the real estate agent with something useful. If there is something else like scheduling visits to the property, okay, there are like 10 people who are interested. Out of this 20 leads that I got, I signed up 10 for site visits, and it can help scheduling when there's people see visits. That piece of software that will take you a weekend to build, so valuable. It is not
Well,
strategic.
maybe not a weekend, but
Okay.
the question is, when I was asking that question, it wasn't to say that they don't care, right? It's just to ask, what has your market research shown you about the platforms that they use, the general open rates? How are they tracking it right now? What are they using? Do you know?
They don't use a lot of analytics to do a lot of that.
Where are these agents you're targeting? Like, where are they located?
The ones that I've talked to are the ones that I just met, and some I've talked to them online.
So where are they located? Where are their
Where did you meet them?
locations?
Yeah.
Most of them, it's a urban demographic. Most of them.
Okay. Are you deliberately choosing not to be specific? Like Nairobi and its
Thika,
environs
yeah.
is urban.
Okay.
So there's Isili. There's like, where are they in that demographic?
For the ones I've talked to, some are in Rongai, and there's one I've talked to through Instagram with in Mombasa.
Okay.
They deal with commercial
And-
properties. They deal with residential properties.
Unfortunately, the ones I've talked to deal with only residential.
Well,
Residential.
it's
That's
not
okay.
unfortunate. So,
good.
what software are they using, and why? What have you pitched them on what you're trying to do, and which parts interested them then?
What interests them mostly was they wanted the network to have more agents.
In what sense?
In the sense that they told me, one of them said, I will be willing to put my listings here, but I don't think there's enough agents to create an activity in this.
Agents or
Agents.
Real estate agents, yeah.
Yeah, because they actually
people.
recycle leads
Yep.
through their networks, actually.
okay.
So then you'll have a cold start problem, isn't it?
Or you can copy other listings and put them on your website.
Yeah, just go.
Which I think a lot of people do.
Yeah. Okay. So they want a place where other agents are also there, right?
No,
How are you going to compete with the GGs and the buy property 254? I can't remember.
Buy rent.
Buy rent
something,
Kenya,
buy rent
property
Kenya, all of
24.
those. Because those are the ones I know where they have agents on the ground. Like, okay, not agents, but at least lots of listings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of competing, majority of the things I'm trying to do, they are still hypotheses. They are things that I just need to test.
Okay.
So, innovation is experimentation, and
exactly.
experimentation leads to failure. So, the ones that will fail will clearly prove that the market is not, but we are still committed to experimenting and finding what really works, because from what I get from you guys is there's a lot of experimentation that needs to go.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of things that it's just rough, and I need to really have this specific information if the business model is to work.
Yeah, but given that you've spoken to a few agents, what do you think you should focus on?
Okay, what I think I should focus on is listing creation, so that if more agents are able to create more listings, if I'm able to sign more agents, they're able to create more listings. So if an agent comes and sees, okay, there is 5,000 listings here, there must be activity. If he asks a friend, are you on this? They're able to, because they hire the number of listings, at least I can create some traffic on the website.
So is your customer the agents or is it the buyers?
It is the agent.
Okay.
You make money off them.
Yes.
So if an agent puts a house on the website, do they leave their contact details?
They have to.
Because I can see a house, call the agent, go see the house, and then there's nowhere is in the loop.
Yeah.
Well, he could charge them to put the listing up.
But then
Yeah.
they learn some guarantees.
Yeah.
At
But if
least.
they have nowhere to put it up, let's see
I
the
feel
benefit of-
feel personally, I feel like the leverage then is where the leverage part is where you should try your experiments on. That sounded interesting to me. I don't know if it's going to work out, but I feel like that
But
sounds interesting.
there's a very big assumption there that
Yeah.
there's a lot of maybe perhaps highly professionalized estate agents like the Palm Goldings, Lloyd Masika, and the rest, because they still operate as a business. But I don't know what operation goes into because I think the work of the agent is to connect the house owner and the buyer, and that's done. The other processes like getting the
But they need to be licensed, right? I
Yeah.
think, you need to be licensed.
Of course, but
Oh,
I'm
they
saying
need to be licensed in Kenya. I didn't know that.
You have to be. Yeah.
But the extent of their operations will what determine whether they need a lot of that software.
Who licenses them?
That was another problem. Most agents they are really facing a challenge with regulation. You ask this agent which regulations do you follow, they just say I don't know. So that is an issue that I've faced. And since there's no regulation, one thing they kept asking is risk management. They want a lot of risk management features on the website.
But what
Does
are-
that look like?
Okay, my initial hypothesis is something like KYC for the deals. Source of money declaration for anti-money laundering.
Okay.
That is something they really need, because sometimes you might have sold something and then you're sued for being party to this transaction. So they need somewhere where after making all the deals, and if you come with a court order, I can say this is the source of funds declaration that this guy gave me, so I'm not liable. One thing they were just talking about is reducing their liability in terms of such things.
Is there liability? Because this is a gray area. If I come with 10 million and I want to buy a property, am I required to tell the real estate agent my source of money?
Yeah, if you're putting it in a bank.
No, let's assume I've just come with a bag of cash.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
I tell the real estate agent what was my source of money.
Yeah.
And I can tell them...
It's under which law
I
is
sell-
that?
Anti-money laundering.
Yeah, you have
It's
to.
anti-money laundering.
Yeah.
So
But-
they have to do anti-money laundering stuff. That's not just left to the bank.
I can just say I
Because
sold
if-
some camels in Wajir.
Then what other regulations apply to real estate then?
There's the source of funds was the one I looked at.
But even if we look at that source of fund as one issue, how would you create a solution for that?
The raw solution that I had was just you have to declare.
Yeah, I can
Where?
declare. I can
Yeah.
declare anything. I can say I sell camels in Wajir.
And now that you said that was the raw solution, does that comply with the law? If I literally said, yeah, I bought my sister got married and this was part of her dowry, yeah, I was given cash. Would that be enough for the real estate agent to move past the liability you're talking about?
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
No, is the answer.
So you see, one of the issues that you seem to have is that you don't seem to have a full, like you have some grasp, but like if you're saying that was something that they were really interested in, I lit up. I was like, oh, nice. If you can solve regulation for them, then maybe perhaps you can sell that, and you probably wouldn't even need to sell it to a lot of people. You can sell it to the people who do constant deals, and you'd be like, it costs you 500,000 per month, but as you can see, it will save you X amount in lawsuits and compliance
But-
and all of
but-
that.
but-
You need to go do your research.
Yeah, I think
Yeah?
from a few of I know of someone who sells houses. I think how she got her license, she was working for one of these big, I don't know if it's Palm or Haas, but they put you on a really tight NDA. They get you the license. Even after you leave, you're given like a year before you can even start selling any other property. But yeah, maybe regulation is like the area you can focus on.
Well, what I see from that could be valuable is filing. Let's say I'm a real estate agent and I'm supposed to file certain things for my client. Then there's a system where you've connected it with whichever systems used.
Wouldn't I just get a lawyer for that?
And that's what was the second point. For really good deals, people utilize lawyers. Because lawyers...
Not even good deals, even small deals,
Yeah,
people
just get a
utilize lawyers.
There's usually boilerplates, which these kawaida lawyers have, where you just come in and put in your details, you pay them like 10K or 5K, and everything goes through so that it meets regulations. So you'll be like, hey, I have this system that helps you file whatever needs to be filed in a very quick, easy way. You pay me 100 bob or whatever you set for your system. Then I'm like, oh yeah, I have to go to lands commission. I have to go to blah, blah, blah. And even let's say like paying stamp duty, right? I understand that certain, you have to go like, I help you pay stamp duty. That's just one If you come to my system, put in the money, blah, 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 we will file everything and return to you everything to do. Great. What's the next thing that's needed? Let's say getting title deed. Okay, that's another thing altogether. So you look at those old processes that go there and say, this is where I want to provide value. So as a real estate agent, I can sit down, focus on getting clients and processing my leads. And then your system takes care of all those other regulatory things that I'm needed to do.
Yeah, back end stuff.
Just a random question. How did you come up with this idea? I know Chris asked whether you were sober, but I'm just genuinely ask where did this idea get birthed?
Okay, this idea, I from the previous work I worked on, I realized that I never really focused on the customer.
What were you working on before, if you don't mind sharing?
Before this, the immediate product I worked on was a product called Career Zone. And Career Zone was supposed to be...
It was your product, your own product you built.
It's a client who gave me the product, actually.
Okay.
And I realized that I did not really listen well. And what the client wanted was a management system for his employees so that the employees can be more productive, and also he can really track the licenses of the employees. It was a mining company. So for me, what I made, it was something that, yes, it will make you productive, but it had features like journaling. And the client asked me, so you want people to journal in the mine? So from that, I just got the inspiration that from now on, everything else I worked on, I need to focus on the customer. So I used to look for customers. I just used to look at people and ask myself, how can this guy be my customer? I went through people who are gym instructors. I looked for some solution there.
Okay, when you worked with gym instructors, what's some of the solutions?
What
are the challenges?
I didn't really see how I could come in because the customers I wanted were the instructors, and I wanted a subscription model. And I didn't really see how the instructor will pay a subscription for my application, and also and through that subscription, what will make his things sell was other people, the members of the gym, paying something to the app so that the trainer can also be reimbursed for bringing those people to the app. That will cause conflict with the owner of the gym too. It's like building your castle on sand. So I left that one. So for real estate, when I saw the real estate guide, I just started looking at what happens in real estate. I started asking him questions, and then he kept on saying, you need, for me, risk management is an issue. Clients break their deals. Clients want cuts in our commissions, things like that. So I realized, okay, for me, it was, I need to have a solution for real estate agents. And that is why I came up with DealKemist.
Do you have any agents who are actively using your system right now?
Currently, no.
So it hasn't been tested?
Yeah, everything is just a hypothesis. Needs to be tested.
So when you say hypothesis, does this mean you've also not built the software, or the software has mostly been built? Which parts are built?
The listing creation part is built. That is the hypothesis I'm testing right now.
Okay.
Who are your competitors for
how
listing
long?
creation?
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
My competitors for listing creation, most agents prefer to create their listings on social media. Instagram, Facebook. So I really consider them my competitors because the features that Instagram has to create something, they are good features, things that if you want to copy, it will take some development effort. Things like reels, things like, people like looking at properties like that. So my main competitor right now is the social media platforms, and then there are brokerage firms with their own software. Those ones are also my main competitors, because if I plan to target that customer segment, I have to have something that is an order of magnitude of 10 better than them.
Okay, so the competitors you mentioned are in two different categories. Yeah. One listing seems to be done on IG, like on socials, and then the brokerages have software, right? What do you know what that software does? Have you interacted with it in any way?
Yeah. The software mostly interacts with transaction. Managing the transaction is the main thing. Transaction management, they have done it really well. So that's a challenge that is something that I have to solve if I'm to really compete with that.
And transaction management is when from the moment a potential buyer sees a property, contacts, and then goes to the different stages of finally purchasing. Is that what you mean by transaction management?
What I mean is that when you decide to buy, sometimes you might put a deposit.
Yeah, it's quite a lengthy process. There has to be an offer created to you. You have to accept that offer. Then you deposit some money on that. If there's a lawyer involved, you have to pay a lawyer fee. And then after that, there's now documentation that has to be sent to you with the site plan, the bigger map of the area for that. And then you're given certain days, or you agree on how the completion
We'll go. Okay.
for that. Yeah.
So that whole process.
Did you know all that?
Yeah. So the big brokerages they have solved that, but for the small agents, even if someone gets a client, it's hell for him to do it.
What can that be your product that you're building?
That sounds like something they need, clearly.
Yeah.
I think you should focus on, and then please just don't bring blockchain on Web3. And if you're using it, you don't have to tell your customers that you're using it.
Nobody cares what's going on in the back end.
Yeah.
That's for you to know.
Forget NFT.
NFT there, you just went.
Yeah, there's no value you're going to add by tokenizing anything unless it's the government that is buying your tokenized solution.
And you know who would love this too? Banks. Because when if someone wants to come in and get a mortgage, the banks surely ask for so many things, including documentation. So if there's documentation in place, banks will ask you, for example, is your lawyer in our panel? Then you have to go back. The agent has to check which lawyer you have to use. So it can also help someone prepare for a mortgage. Because also for you to qualify for a mortgage, there is usually like a very long list of things you have to comply to. So don't innovate. Just recreate whatever processes there are in a digital manner.
For particularly whatever the big people are using, bring
Create
it to
it for the small person.
ones. Simplify it maybe if they don't need
Charge
everything.
them $2,000 a month.
Yeah, and then I don't know whether
per transaction.
Do the big, like the Palm Goldings, Haas, do you know whether they have proper?
I'm sure they do.
Okay.
You never know, man.
He said he's interacted with their software. Which companies?
For Palm Golden, I haven't interacted with them. But the one I've interacted with is Lone Wolf Technologies. That is it's in Canada. So for them, the brokerage part it's the core of what they're doing because
is that software used by any Kenyan company?
Nope.
So which software are Kenyan companies using? Do you know?
None. Because I have interacted with agents who are not part of brokerages.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
But the agent business is a brokerage business.
Yeah.
They're brokerages of one. So, maybe you can think about doing that type of software for them. But I would say drop listings. What was the other one?
Leverage.
Leverage is okay.
There's something to leverage there, but maybe
you have to identify what
that is.
The disruptive technologies.
Yeah.
That's those ones I would.
Yeah.
Okay, so from what I get is the focus really needs to change.
In
terms of testing what I'm testing, I need to focus on what really the customers need right now.
Yes, exactly. Because you can't just build. If social media, if you're telling me that you need to compete with Facebook, and you're saying their features they have, I'm like that is $1 billion company. Not even hundreds of billions of dollars of you will not compete. You will not be able to build the software to their level.
They have 10,000 developers.
They have literally, right? So you need to narrow your focus and build something with one of your, you seem to be connected to a few real estate agents.
And I love the area you're
process,
focusing on.
Yeah.
Like, don't come to Nairobi and I think...
Learn the process well, and then look for the parts you can digitize.
Yeah.
Digitize them, tell them, can you use this software? Try it out. If it makes your life easier, pay me X.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
And do you do this full time?
Yeah.
So you have to figure out how it works in a very fast, so you can put some money in your pocket, or find one agent, build a tool for them.
Yeah.
They pay you, and then slowly onboard other agents and make it more generic, as you earning some money from this one agent.
All you have to do is just get your first
Client.
person who believes in you and just work with them on that.
So, work with a single customer.
Yeah.
Focus on the immediate pain point, something like brokerages.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is what I'm really getting, and that is valuable feedback.
Yeah.
And
so
then
do that. And
Come
then,
back to us when you're rich and give us some money too.
Yeah.
So like you guys helped me.
Connect with more agents.
Yeah.
And build out
And-
whatever it is they
and
need.
find if there are forums, convention
Yeah.
that involves real estate. I don't know if there's something like that, but where there's a group of real estate agents, so that within 30 minutes you can talk to like 10 or
10 of
20
them.
people and understand the industry.
But I would do that after you've built something.
Yeah, you have something to
Like with I think you mentioned 4 or 5 agents you're talking to in Rongai. Start with them.
Spend time with them.
Build. Be involved in their process.
Yeah.
So that you can build. You can see parts that can be digitized, because one of the things that I see is that like the professionals know what they need, but they may not have the skills to build it.
Build
out.
it, yeah.
So that's where you should come in. With the 4 or 5 of them, build something that all of them can use as you interact with them. It might take a bit of time. I don't know how you're going to feed yourself in that in the meantime. But yeah, with them, build something for the 4. Once they're using it and happy with it, and they're willing to pay something for it, then you can now begin to expand and be like, yeah, let me bring in another 4, 5, 6, and then go to the conventions that Chris is talking about. Yeah.
Do you have any questions for the panel?
Yeah, I think so. Considering the fact that I should narrow my focus, initially I had thought of subscriptions for the agents, which is I thought of really putting all those services together and then charging them a subscription for using them month in, month out. But now that I think most of my testing is going to go into really the brokerage stuff first. What business model do you think is really works in this scenario? Because if I come into the commissions part, commission is something very triggering for the agent himself. I will just be another layer on top of what they've been really doing right now.
You said it.
I still think subscriptions work.
Subscriptions.
So generally, what you can think about is when you're thinking about subscriptions is you have to get the pricing right. So as you're working with these guys, you're seeing the type of deal flow they're doing, whatever it is. Maybe they're making, let's say, 10,000 bob a month, right? Yeah. So you want to come in and charge less, much, much less than that, right? And there now you have to balance. Because when you're talking to them, you'll be like, okay, you'll use this software for 3 months. Then after 3 months, I will tell you, let's say you pay 500 bob a month or 1,000 bob a month. You can always start at a number and just raise it as you go.
No, you add a feature and then you increase the
you can always start with and just raise it. You tell them, look, you go talk to the next agent, even if he tells you, nilisikia kutoka nani, you tell them, that was the price for the first few.
Yeah.
It's now gone up.
Or basic plan and premium plan.
Yeah.
But I think I'd
generally,
also...
subscriptions is the way. But you need to be you'll need to do some experimentation on how.
I was going to say that. Try both. If you have a few agents, try and see the subscription ways, try and see the
You could also
commission.
try to sell it directly as software. Just be like, hey, I'll set it up on our website.
Done.
It will cost 100K, whatever millions or whatever it is.
But for 100K, and his target is the normal broker on the...
Like I'm saying, like that's why you have to really think about it. But when you're charging for subscription, you really it needs to be the type of software where it's like ongoing value, right? So it's something that they need to use every, let's say, 2 weeks or whatever it is, right? Not something that they use once a year and then you're trying to charge them.
And that is their business. So subscription would definitely be something to look into.
Okay, so from what I get is I need to really work on the pricing, and then I need to ensure that there's a sustainable amount of engagement to justify
To
the
justify
pricing.
the pricing, yes.
But the first
You
thing you
could
need to
also-
do is build a product that is really solving the agent's needs, the brokerage.
Yeah, like this
They
just
will-
assumes
yeah.
the and also if you were in the, you could also do per transaction charging, right? In that if your software is helping them with some certain part of the deal flow, right? You'll be able to see they've already finished. So you tell them when you finish, because that means your deal is almost done or is done and the money is in the bank, to get all these documents so that you can file them all at once, or whatever it is that your software is doing, we charge, let's say, 100 bob per transaction, which means that that way, if they're not using the software, let's say they got no deals that month, they don't pay anything.
Yeah.
If they don't get to the end, they don't pay anything. But you have to also be very careful that if there's multiple steps, that they're not able to take any documentation you've generated from there and then go use it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the two. It's either subscription where they pay monthly, and that means there needs to be ongoing value, or you can do per transaction where if they go through your whole process and they're at the end, that's when they pay. It's worth thinking of both of those.
But always try to get money up front.
If you're building it for a
Yes.
specific
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
but then they'll assume there's transfer of ownership. I paid you to build this for me.
Okay, I mean, well, as you get traction, yes.
Yeah, but it's actually an issue. If you use a client's money to build the software, they can buy you from licensing the software and someone else.
No, yeah, it's
And
true.
that's why one of the things that you could do is bring them in as partners,
Yeah.
right? So you tell them, you need this software, I will charge you, usually I charge this, I'll charge much, much less. You become my partner. We go,
Get more.
we go, let's say 50-50, and you will be in charge of selling it to other
Estate
brokers,
agents.
when it's made. I will do the technical stuff.
Just make sure you get a lawyer involved.
Yes. It's important.
Cool. Any other questions?
Okay, I think.
All right. So I think I'll start, given that I'm the guest here. Yeah, you have a lot of good ideas. I like that you are very focused on a customer. You've been talking to them. I just think that you were trying to do too much, and you need to really narrow it down, and you need to provide value for Kenyan clients, right? You can't talk about Canadian software. You can't talk about how they do it over there unless there's value for Kenyan clients. And so just bring in your focus. And for me, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next.
Yeah, I mean, due to what Sydney said, I think also you listen, which is very good. We get people coming here and they're not listening, they're not taking on feedback. So hopefully the feedback and the insights that we're giving you, would love to see in a year's time whether you've managed to get, 4 or 5 brokers to use what you're building. But I like the problem space that you're working in. I do think there's a lot of benefits, and it's one that's it's not been disrupted yet. It's still quite traditional. So yeah, just good luck, and yeah, thanks for sharing your idea with us.
Yeah, I think you need to hone in further on your problem and your market research on exactly what in this whole chain, what value do you want to provide? If you manage to plug yourself in the transaction, it means you can have one needful of a deal that is 100 million. And let's say your agreement is 1%, then you're likely to blow up. Software is great, a subscription, but you'll need so many real estate agents for your business to turn profitable for that. So while you're honing on what you're providing, figure out how you can put yourself in the transaction, because you just need one big transaction and you're good. Yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Paul Chang, and I'm the owner of DealKemist. And this DealKemist provides real estate agents with strategic solutions that they will implement at a tactical level with piercing effectiveness for their economic success and sustainability. My fish tank experience was amazing because it has revealed that a lot more focus needs to go into the problem formulation. A lot more focus needs to go into really more severe pain points that customers are really willing to pay for. Instead of working on so many things, I should really focus on experimenting on something that customers have really showed a lot of interest in. Receiving feedback from the three of them at the same time has really shown me the importance of really listening, because I think you really learn a lot when you just listen, because it comes down the emotions that maybe you might think that they might attack you, but I think it's something that is really honest, something that when you want somebody to give you money, you need to listen a lot. And so the communication, the listening, that has been really valuable for me. Such a platform, it really exposes the skills you need, because as young founders, I think you might think that you need money to really do these things, but sometimes it exposes your lack of skills in terms of understanding the customer, understanding how you're going to present yourself in front of investors. And there are many people who might have a lot of stake in your business in the future. So such a show really provides the foundations for such things, and it really gives you the basis of building your own confidence in terms of speaking about these products. If you want to find the product, there's a built-out minimum, a small version of it, which is on DealKemist.vassal.app. So you can go there, you can really look at the listing creation, the features that are there, the ones that you're interested in. And then if you want to find me, you can find me on LinkedIn at Paul Chang.